Hey everyone, it's John the Phone Guy here. So this is an Invicta Venom Fang. Model number is 10825. This is actually my very first Invicta watch. So what I want to start with is just the strap. So as you can see, this is a polyurethane strap. Sorry, I just cleaned it a little bit. So one of the details of this, it's a Venom Fang. So as you can see, if you look at it, it looks like little eyes right here. So right here and here, and then you got the two teeth, and then coming down, it's like a big forked tongue coming down. And this is a reserve, which is basically the higher end components and stuff for Invicta. This is, you know, your clasp and double keepers, and you could even see that in the keepers they're notched out for this. And then we'll go right to the case back. So this is a traditional case back. Hey y'all. And as you can see, it's so it's a Swiss made, it's a reserve collection, flame fusion, which we'll get into, and there's your model number and everything. The water resistance on this watch is 1,000 meters, so a little over 3,000 feet, which is more than anyone would ever want to go down, but you know, it's there. So now we'll go into just some of the general. So this is the case, and this is your lug system, which has like the screws for the polyurethane that go through, and then the other parts are obviously, you have your bezel here, which is unidirectional, so it's gonna, you know, turn for diving instruments. So if you know you want to go and start diving, you would set your 0, right here at your mark, and then, and I'll open this up. As you continue to dive, so there's 10 minutes downtime, 20 minutes downtime, and so on. And one of the other big things about this, so for a good friend of mine, I will fix this. So, as a point of note, so this is your date window right here, and I forgot to change the date. So this is a screw-in crown system, which is where you get your water resistance from. So you unscrew this, and then you're going to pop it out one. You'll feel one little dent, and then you'll start turning, and you'll see one, you know. Okay, and then a second turn, that's going to get your time. And I literally don't have the time in front of me, which is crazy. I'm doing watches and I don't know what time it is. So it's 4:41. And here we go. So we're going to set the time, and then push this back in and set it back down. And there's where your water resistance is. This is going to be your function pusher. So this is going to be the A position up here and B position. That comes into effect when you're trying to do resets of your, every once in a while, sometimes this is your second hand for the chronograph. So as you see, when I hit that, this starts moving. This is your 1/10 of a second down here. And then this over here is a running 30-minute timer. And then right here at the 3 o'clock, as you see this going around, that's your constant running seconds. So a lot of times, and to stop, so stop it, and this resets it. Now if ever you had to reset any one of these, the way you do that is you screw this all the way out, pull this all the way, and then you're going to press and hold A and B at the same time for a couple seconds, and then let go. And then what you can do is you can start stepping to move this through. So you would adjust the first one, and then you would hit this, and then you would adjust your 1/10 of a second, and then you'd hit it again, and then start adjusting one by one. And then once you're all done, you set that back in, and then you can start back up again. I don't want to do it because it takes a bit of time. So that's resetting it. So I always keep mine finger snug because you never know what's going to go on. So this is all, so this is your bezel, obviously, your dial face. Now this is, so I'm going to try and get slow here so we'll focus. So this is just a standard, metal dial. As you can see, this is Swiss made. So according to Swiss Federation 2017, yada yada, 60% of the components and other pieces and final assembly, and I can't remember it all, is all done in Switzerland. This movement inside is done by Ronda. It's called a Ronda StarTech 5040D. I believe that's for the date window. I looked it up, but it didn't say exactly what it was for, but I'm assuming it's for the date window. So it has approximately, they say, about 54 months of battery life. And the battery type, so if ever you had to replace one, is a 395. The other thing about this is the crystal. And of course, a lot of people talk about that. The crystal is what they call flame fusion. So flame fusion is a type of sapphire style. So the sapphire crystal is synthetically made. Sapphire is extremely hard and has really amazing clarity, but because of its hardness, it can be brittle, so it tends to break, but it doesn't scratch easy. Mineral crystal, which is a mineral glass crystal, is what some watches come in, which is a softer compound, almost like a polymer, so its impact resistance is greater, so it's not going to break as easy because it gives, because it's softer, but it is more susceptible to scratching. So what Invicta has come up with is what they call flame fusion. So they combine the characteristics of both sapphire and mineral crystal to come up with their flame fusion. I have a scale right here because a lot of people are like, wow, how heavy is that? How heavy is that? So hold on a second. So that one is 9 pounds. Sorry, 9 ounces. Some people probably think it weighs 9 pounds, but so that's 9 ounces. The biggest thing, I do have other Venoms. The strap really makes it lighter, so that is a big thing. And then size-wise, so I got a caliper. So anytime the industry measures, it's from the 10 o'clock. From the 10 o'clock to the 4 o'clock. So basically, and I'm going to try and not catch that, it's like 50. So it's called, I'm getting 51.9. So that's how big it is. For a reference, sorry, I'm just going to kind of steal this, is a Coke can. Okay, so a Coke can there is 54. So the top of a Coke can is 54. So if you want to look at something in real life and figure out relationship, that's 54. Now the depth or the height that it sets off your wrist is going to be, call it 21, give or take. So, that's a pretty good size. I mean, so again, I have a 7-inch wrist, so I'll show you what it looks like on mine. This was actually, like I said, this was my very first Invicta that I bought. I had other watches before, obviously, but and I kind of did the old school stuff of Fossil and a couple other things. I like mine a little bit looser, but basically, you can kind of see it sets up, pretty decent. I mean, it's up there. As far as across the wrist, it's not, of course, I'm used to it, so I wouldn't say most people would get into something like this, but I did, so, you know, kind of is what it is. So that's, sorry, I just washed it and it's kind of sticky. So, so this is Invicta Subaqua Venom, and it's a fang version. I'm going to reset this because it's going to drive me crazy with my OCD. So that's pretty much everything about the watch. You know, a big shout out to Trap Vision 3D, who does a lot of lifestyle videos. Tommy Big Time does a lot of bracelet sizing, battery changes, and other things. You can also find a good source for purchasing is evine.com. I have all those links in the description below. And if you're somewhat new to Invicta and you want to learn and you know, meet other people and find out some more details, there's a few Facebook pages. Invictaholics, Invictacruisers, Invicta Vets are really good resources. I'm also on Instagram. I've left my link down there if you're interested. And that's pretty much the rundown that I wanted to do. So hope you guys liked it. See y'all later.